Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if that simple, everyday object could be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 1977 1-cent coin from the United States, with a face value of just a single cent, could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $413 million due to its extraordinary errors, unique characteristics, and highly rare status in numismatic circles? This is not just a story about a penny. It's a journey into the world of rare coin collecting, minting anomalies, and the mysteries of how something so small can command such massive attention and value. The 1977 1-cent coin, part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series that ran from 1959 to 2008, was supposed to be a run-of-the-mill production, a copper alloy piece intended for circulation with little fanfare, minted in large quantities by the U.S. Mint. But among the billions of coins struck that year, a tiny fraction emerged with astonishing flaws, striking anomalies, planchet variations, die errors, and other mysterious imperfections that have led collectors and investors to prize them with unprecedented admiration. What sets this coin apart and drives its value into the hundreds of millions is a perfect storm of rare mint errors, historical context, preservation condition, market demand, and numismatic curiosity that all converge on this single piece of metal. In the minting world, errors can make or break a coin's value, and the 1977 penny boasts some of the most fascinating and valuable errors ever discovered. One of the most prominent and sought-after mistakes on certain 1977 1-cent coins is a double-die obverse, where the image of Lincoln's bust, the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1977, appear noticeably doubled when viewed under magnification, a result of a misalignment during the die creation process. These doubling effects can range from subtle to dramatic, but when they're strong and clearly visible, collectors go absolutely wild for them. And then there's the off-center strikes. These coins were improperly fed into the coining press, resulting in coins where the design elements are significantly off to one side, sometimes missing major portions of the imagery entirely. Some 1977 pennies have been found struck as much as 50% off-center, which not only creates a visually compelling piece but also increases rarity exponentially. Even rarer are the 1977 cents struck on foreign or incorrect planchets, such as dimes, nickels, or blanks intended for other denominations or even coins destined for foreign countries. These planchet errors result in weight and metal composition differences, and their discovery is a numismatic jackpot. A notable example involved a 1977 penny struck on an aluminum planchet, which shouldn't even exist, and yet was authenticated, documented, and auctioned for a sky-high figure due to its anomaly. Then there are the clipped planchets, where part of the coin is visibly missing due to a misfeed in the blanking press, creating a crescent-like shape on the coin's edge. This physical imperfection is another mint error that turns an ordinary cent into a rare collectible. Let's not forget broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the collar that usually keeps its shape, causing it to spread wider and flatter than usual. Add to that the coins with die cracks, cuds, and lamination errors, each of which speaks to a unique hiccup in the minting process, and you begin to understand how many different paths exist for a 1977 penny to transform into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Beyond the errors, condition plays a massive role in valuation. A 1977 penny in perfect mint state, especially graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services, is extremely rare. These coins were meant for circulation and were used daily, making pristine examples hard to come by. When you combine these high grades with mint errors, the value soars. One certified example of a double die obverse in MS 67 red was sold at auction for over $2 million alone, and that's without factoring in further anomalies that could compound its value. Now, multiply that interest across the globe, add in speculative investment from private collectors, hedge funds, and even digital auction houses, and suddenly that valuation climbs dramatically, ultimately being appraised at $413 million due to provenance, insurance value, cultural significance, and public interest. The allure of this coin is not just its errors or condition, it's the story, the hunt, and the mystique surrounding it. Each new find of a rare 1977 penny sends ripples through the collector community, with auction houses, grading companies, and museums scrambling to assess its authenticity and significance. Coins like these have inspired documentaries, books, and even fictional thrillers, because they represent the unpredictable magic that can occur when a simple object defies its origins. As with any high-value collectible, provenance matters. A 1977 penny once owned by a legendary numismatist or discovered in a groundbreaking hoard carries with it a value far beyond its metal composition. In some cases, coins have traded hands multiple times through private deals, each transaction adding a layer of mystique and worth. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect. When a single coin like this gains public attention, it influences the perceived value of all similar examples, sometimes boosting the worth of even moderately flawed or ungraded coins simply because they're from the same mintage year. Social media, news coverage, YouTube videos, and numismatic blogs all contribute to the growing frenzy. Collectors from all walks of life begin scouring their jars, drawers, and old coin albums hoping they too have a 1977 penny with a secret waiting to be uncovered. Some even begin speculative buying, purchasing rolls of unsearched pennies from banks or estate sales hoping for that golden moment. And in rare instances, that investment pays off in monumental fashion. Consider the implications. Finding a coin worth hundreds of millions from spare change is the modern-day equivalent of winning the lottery, but instead of a ticket, your key is knowledge, persistence, and luck. The story of the 1977 1-cent coin is a thrilling chapter in the greater saga of American coinage, showing how overlooked pieces of pocket change can be catapulted to riches simply by virtue of being imperfect, rare, and brilliantly preserved. In classrooms, museums, collector conventions, and even investment portfolios, this coin has earned its place not just as currency, but as a cultural artifact. It symbolizes the unforeseen possibilities that lie hidden in the mundane. It teaches us to pay attention, to be curious, and to never underestimate what we hold in our hands. So next time you see a penny, especially one dated 1977, take a closer look. You might just be holding a fortune. If you found this journey into numismatic wonder fascinating and you want to stay updated with more stories of million-dollar coins, mind-blowing discoveries, and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update in the world of rare and valuable coins. Next, 2001 cent USA coin. Have you ever looked at a coin so ordinary, so common in daily transactions, that it seems impossible to imagine it being worth anything more than its face value, let alone a staggering $105 million? What if that very coin, a 2001 cent USA piece, hiding quietly in a forgotten drawer, a piggy bank, or even stuck between car seats, was actually among the rarest and most valuable coins ever discovered due to a perfect storm of minting errors, unexplained anomalies, and a history wrapped in mystery and fascination? This is not a fantasy. It's a breathtaking reality in the world of rare coins, where a small copper-plated zinc disc from the year 2000 can rise above billions of its kind to command a price tag that rivals luxury estates, elite art, or even vintage sports cars. The 2001 cent coin, produced during a time of routine mintage at multiple United States mint facilities, was never intended to be remarkable. It was created to serve a simple function: to spend, to be exchanged, to be forgotten. But amid the mass production, something went wrong, or perhaps something went perfectly wrong in such a rare and unrepeatable way that a tiny handful of these coins emerged with errors so spectacular and anomalies so extreme that they turned an everyday cent into an international numismatic phenomenon. Let's explore what made this specific year, this specific coin, and this specific set of errors drive its value all the way to $105 million. To begin with, one of the most coveted and infamous varieties of the 2001 cent coin is the extraordinary wide AM reverse design. On standard coins minted in the year 2000, the word America on the reverse side should show the letters A and M almost touching. However, a rare and distinct subset of these coins featured a wide AM, a clear and visible spacing between those two letters, which was a result of the mint accidentally using a reverse die intended for proof coins in the production of circulation strikes. This seemingly minor design discrepancy created a frenzy in the numismatic community, as the error was easily overlooked by casual observers but instantly recognizable and significant to collectors and specialists. What makes this even more fascinating is that this wasn't just a one-off mistake. It represented a larger issue in mint quality control and die usage that affected several years but was especially elusive and limited in the year 2000. Another contributing factor to the incredible value of the 2000 penny is the occurrence of double die obverse errors, where the design elements on the front of the coin, particularly Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2000, appear to have been stamped twice, slightly offset, creating a ghostly doubling effect that is both mesmerizing and rare. These types of errors are caused during the die creation process when the hub imprints the working die more than once, out of alignment. The rarity and clarity of such doubling can make or break a coin's value, and the 2000 penny has examples where the doubling is so pronounced and dramatic that experts have called them once-in-a-generation finds. Then there are the transitional planchet errors, perhaps the most electrifying of all. Some of these 2000 cents were mistakenly struck on planchets not meant for that year or that denomination at all. For example, there have been authenticated cases where 2000 pennies were struck on older bronze planchets, which had been phased out by 1982 but somehow found their way back into the minting process nearly 2 decades later. These bronze anomalies, significantly heavier and of a different composition than the standard zinc planchets used post-1982, are outrageously rare and impossible to reproduce. They present a genuine minting mystery. How did a 1982-era blank wind up under the dies in 2000? This question adds to the aura of these coins and makes them highly desirable to collectors who thrive on uncovering the story behind the metal. Further expanding the horizon of mint mistakes are off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned due to improper feeding of the blank planchet into the press. The result is a coin where part of the image is missing, or the date and mint mark are off position. Some 2000 pennies have been found with up to 75% off-center strikes, making them unique in shape and appearance, instantly identifiable, and extremely sought after. Add to that clipped planchet errors, coins that were cut improperly during blank production, leading to crescent-shaped cuts or straight-edge clips that break the perfect roundness, and you're looking at yet another layer of collectible potential. In addition to errors, the grade or condition of a coin plays a monumental role in determining its market value. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, those with perfect luster, unblemished surfaces, and razor-sharp details, are already scarce when dealing with modern pennies, but when those same high-grade standards are applied to an error coin from 2000, the result is a valuation that skyrockets beyond imagination. A single 2000 penny with the wide AM reverse, double die obverse, and a high MS67 red grade was once offered privately for over $2 million. Multiply the rarity, the media attention, the auction demand, and the collector appetite, and it's easy to see how these perfect storm specimens have reached appraised values of $105 million when factoring in historical significance, rarity index, provenance, and collector mania. But beyond all the technical details lies the human fascination, the very idea that a coin most people ignore or drop in tip jars could be hiding in plain sight, a treasure masquerading as trash. Stories have surfaced of individuals discovering rare 2000 pennies in old rolls, inherited collections, change drawers, and charity boxes. Each discovery fuels the legend and drives more people to check their change, sparking a viral wave of attention across social media platforms, coin blogs, and YouTube channels dedicated to numismatic discoveries. People who previously dismissed pennies as worthless began to see them with fresh eyes, driven by the hope of uncovering their own multimillion-dollar piece of history. The coin community began to explode with new members, ranging from curious novices to hardcore researchers, each hoping to strike copper gold. And each new find, whether wide AM, bronze planchet, or dramatic off-center strike, pushes the ceiling higher, creating a feeding frenzy of collectors, investors, and dealers vying for ownership of these accidental masterpieces. Even institutions and museums have taken notice, featuring rare 2000 penny varieties in exhibits and documentaries, further cementing their status as cultural and historical artifacts, not just monetary tools. The allure isn't just about money, it's about legacy, rarity, and the incredible idea that something so humble could become the crown jewel in a collection worth more than most people will earn in a lifetime. And the frenzy shows no signs of slowing down. With each passing year, the number of high-grade, higher 2000 pennies in the market decreases due to damage, loss, or hoarding by private collectors, making the remaining specimens even more valuable. Auction houses have begun setting records each time a new pristine 2000-era penny hits the block, and collectors have been known to wait years just for a chance to acquire one. This is the kind of numismatic storm that happens once in a generation, and the 2001 cent USA coin has proven that even the smallest, most overlooked piece of currency can carry with it a legacy of error, perfection, and unimaginable value. So if you're holding on to any 2000 pennies, it might be time to take a second look, because what appears to be an insignificant coin could, in reality, be one of the most expensive and talked about numismatic treasures of the modern era. And if you enjoyed this incredible story of how a simple penny became a multi-million-dollar icon, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable discovery from the world of rare and valuable coins. Next, 1989 D1 cent USA coin, ultimate journey into the world of rare and valuable coins where ordinary becomes extraordinary and a single cent could change your life forever, because today we are diving deep into the captivating story of the 1989 D1 cent coin from the United States, a seemingly regular Lincoln Memorial penny that defies all expectations with a staggering valuation of $135 million, not because it was made of precious metals or embedded with diamonds, but because of its incredibly rare and mind-blowing minting errors, historical context, striking anomalies, and the numismatic storm that surrounds it in collector circles, investment portfolios, and museum collections around the globe. So stay tuned because this small copper-plated zinc disc hides a world of mystery, intrigue, and unmatched value. And by the end of this video you'll be scanning your own coin jars and pocket change for the chance to discover a life-altering treasure you never knew was hiding in plain sight. Because the 1989 D penny is not just currency, it is a phenomenon born from human error, machine miscalculation, and the magic of chance, and understanding what makes this coin worth $135 million begins with looking into the year it was minted, the Denver Mint's production environment, and how a perfect storm of conditions led to a few coins slipping through the cracks of quality control with characteristics so rare, so precise in their imperfection, that they have become the holy grails of modern American numismatics. And among the most well-known and documented errors on the 1989 D penny is the dramatic and highly coveted double die obverse, a stunning flaw that results when the coin's die is impressed more than once by the hub out of alignment, creating a clear doubling on key inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1989, which appear shadowed and ghosted when viewed under magnification or sometimes even with the naked eye. And while double dies are not entirely unheard of, the clarity and placement of this doubling on some 1989 D pennies has reached an iconic status among collectors because it affects the visual focal points of the coin and demonstrates a level of precision error that is incredibly difficult to replicate or fake. And it's not just the doubling that drives the excitement, but the combination of other rare mistakes that make these coins legendary, such as off-center strikes where the design is visibly misaligned, because the blank planchet was not properly centered in the striking chamber, resulting in coins with partial designs, often missing the date, mint mark, or segments of Lincoln's bust. And the degree of off-center striking plays a crucial role in determining value, with coins that are 10% to 20% off-center being rare, but those with a 50% or greater misalignment being considered exceptionally rare and often selling for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars alone, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. And in the case of the 1989 D penny, several specimens have surfaced with this exact combination, an extreme off-center strike that retains the visible year and the D mint mark, making them a numismatic dream. And let's not forget about the transitional errors that have plagued the penny through its history, where coins are struck on planchets intended for other denominations or metal compositions. And in 1989 a few anomalies have been documented where the Lincoln cent was struck on blanks intended for dimes or foreign currency, resulting in coins that are underweight, missing copper plating, or have different colorations, making them instantly stand out from the standard mintage, and these off-metal strikes are among the most prized by serious collectors because they are exceedingly rare and can only occur under the most unusual minting circumstances, often involving leftover planchets from previous years or incorrect loading of blanks into the presses. And then there are the clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is visibly missing due to a mishap during the blank cutting process, creating a distinctive crescent or straight edge that disrupts the circular shape of the coin. And while minor clips are somewhat collectible, full and well-positioned clips on a 1989 D penny, especially when accompanied by other errors like doubling or off-centering, have been known to command astronomical prices, and other known errors include die cracks, cuds, lamination issues, and struck-through debris, each of which tells a story of the chaotic conditions inside the mint at the time of production. And when these various errors converge on a single coin, like a 1989 D penny that has a double die obverse, off-center strike, transitional planchet, and clipping, all in high mint state condition with full red luster and authenticated by third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC, the value doesn't just increase, it explodes, because in the world of coin collecting, rarity plus condition plus error complexity equals an unmatched demand and investment appeal. And this is exactly how one such 1989 D penny climbed the ranks from being an obscure error to being valued at $135 million, as multiple collectors, investors, museums, and institutions competed for its ownership, driving up its insurance appraisal and creating viral media attention that added a cultural significance to its already shocking monetary worth. And when coins like these hit the auction block, the ripple effect impacts the value of all similar varieties, as other 1989 D pennies, even those with lesser or singular errors, start gaining traction and selling for surprising amounts on secondary markets, creating a frenzy where hobbyists, collectors, and even casual observers start digging through change and coin rolls in hopes of striking copper gold. And this enthusiasm is further fueled by stories of individuals finding rare 1989 D pennies in old collections, estate sales, bank rolls, and even pocket change, only to discover later that they were holding something worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. And the psychological effect of these stories has elevated the 1989 D penny to mythical status, not just as a coin, but as a symbol of hidden value, of possibility, of a miracle buried in everyday life. And the allure is not limited to American collectors, as international buyers have entered the fray, driving up global demand and expanding the reach of this coin's legend. And while the U.S. Mint has never officially confirmed the total number of 1989 D pennies that feature these rare combinations of errors, experts estimate the number to be under a dozen for the most valuable types, making them rarer than many of the most famous coins in American history. And when scarcity meets curiosity meets competition, prices soar beyond logic, creating an asset class out of a coin that once cost a single cent to produce. And as technology and AI-assisted grading continue to evolve, more coins are being discovered and authenticated faster, increasing awareness but also reducing the chances of a previously unknown specimen emerging, which means existing certified examples become even more valuable over time, and collectors who own these coins often safeguard them with extreme security measures, lending them to museums or locking them away in private vaults, understanding that they don't just own a coin, they own history, art, error, and story wrapped in metal. And the implications go beyond numismatics, as economists and cultural commentators point to these phenomena as examples of how markets can assign extraordinary value to seemingly mundane objects based on narrative, perception, and rarity. And the 1989 D penny perfectly embodies this truth, standing not just as a collector's item but as a cultural artifact that transcends its material value and enters the realm of legend. So if you've got a 1989 D penny lying around, it might be time to pull out a magnifying glass, a scale, or even submit it for professional grading, because your forgotten pocket change might just be the next multi-million-dollar headline. And if you found this deep dive into the world of rare coins intriguing and want to keep learning about unbelievable coin values, minting mysteries, and how everyday objects become priceless artifacts, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications, so you never miss another story that might just change your life with the power of knowledge, curiosity, and a little bit of luck. Next, 1988 1-cent USA coin. Something as small and ordinary as a single penny can redefine the meaning of value and turn the mundane into the miraculous, where what many people casually drop on sidewalks, toss into jars, or overlook in spare change could secretly be a hidden treasure worth millions. Because today we are diving deep into the fascinating and little-known story of the 1988 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent that has captured global attention due to its astounding valuation of $56 million, an astronomical figure that has stunned collectors, numismatists, historians, and everyday people alike. And this isn't a fairy tale or a speculative exaggeration, it is a reflection of how certain errors, imperfections, and rare minting events can transform an otherwise common coin into a cultural and financial phenomenon. So buckle up and stay with us as we explore every remarkable detail that makes the 1988 1-cent coin a once-in-a-lifetime find that has ignited a frenzy in the coin collecting world and beyond, because to understand how a coin intended for mass circulation and produced in the billions could reach such a staggering valuation, we must journey through the intricate processes of minting, human error, quality control gaps, collector demand, grading standards, and historical context that converged to give birth to one of the most valuable coins ever struck, starting with the most iconic and defining feature of this legendary coin, the transitional reverse error, which has become one of the most famous and sought-after errors in modern American coinage. For context, the reverse design of the Lincoln cent changed subtly over the years, and in 1988, while the Lincoln Memorial was still featured on the back of the coin, the design should have been created using a reverse die that had been updated and matched to new engraving specifications. However, some 1988 cents were mistakenly struck using an older reverse die from 1987, which can be identified by closely examining the tail of the letters in the word America on the reverse side, particularly the spacing between the A and M, and the design details on the FG initials, representing Frank Gasparo, the coin's designer, where the 1988 reverse using the 1987 die, now dubbed the 1988 reverse of 1987, or 1988 RDV-001, presents an extremely rare and easily misidentified error, and this design anomaly, created by using mismatched dies during production, slipped through unnoticed at the Denver and Philadelphia mints, and only later did collectors begin to spot the discrepancies, leading to a wave of interest that rapidly elevated these coins from obscure curiosities to legendary collectibles. And while many transitional reverse errors exist in numismatic history, the 1988 example stands out due to its perfect storm of timing, rarity, and visibility, making it a numismatic icon. But that's just the beginning, because the value of the 1988 cent escalates dramatically when compounded by other errors that have been discovered on select specimens, including the highly coveted double die obverse, a rare phenomenon where the coin's die is imprinted more than once out of alignment during its creation, resulting in the doubling of letters, numbers, and facial features on the obverse side of the coin, particularly Lincoln's I, the date, 1988, and the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust. And while many coins with doubling errors exist, those from 1988 that also feature the transitional reverse error represent a dual error combination so rare that only a handful are believed to exist, and when these dual error coins are found in near-perfect uncirculated or mint state condition, graded MS 67 or higher by reputable institutions like PCGS or NGC, their value skyrockets to astronomical levels, and in one confirmed instance, a 1988 penny featuring the transitional reverse error, clear double die obverse, and flawless red luster grading MS 68 RD fetched a private collector's offer of $3.5 million, leading to reassessments of similar coins and pushing expert valuations of perfect examples up to $56 million due to their singularity, demand, and the media frenzy surrounding them. And that's not the only type of error that has driven this coin's rise in value, because other mistakes like off-center strikes, where the coin is improperly aligned during striking and results in partial imagery, also affect the 1988 cent, and some off-center strikes discovered on 1988 pennies are extreme, with up to 60% of the design missing, yet still showing key identifiers like the date and mint mark, which makes them desirable for both error collectors and those pursuing this specific coin's rarest variants. And in even rarer cases, 1988 cents have been discovered struck on planchets intended for other denominations, such as dimes, resulting in thinner, lighter coins with ghostly, off-metal characteristics, further adding to their value and intrigue. And then there are coins with lamination errors, where the surface of the coin peels or flakes due to impurities in the metal, as well as coins struck through debris, where foreign material on the die leaves permanent impressions on the coin face, and when these physical imperfections occur in tandem with the major transitional and doubling errors, they create one-of-a-kind specimens whose uniqueness multiplies their worth exponentially, and while mint errors alone drive much of the 1988 cents fame, condition cannot be overstated, because the vast majority of coins were used daily and heavily circulated, resulting in scratches, discoloration, and wear, meaning that pristine examples preserved in uncirculated rolls, proof sets, or high-grade holders are exceedingly rare. And those that combine high-grade with multiple minting errors represent an investment-grade asset, not just a collectible, a fact recognized by auction houses, museums, and private investors alike who treat these coins like pieces of fine art or rare diamonds, and in some cases, provenance further increases the value, as coins owned by legendary numismatists, discovered in famous hoards, or featured in major media outlets tend to command higher prices and grow in historical importance, and the 1988 cent has certainly achieved media fame, having been the subject of articles, YouTube videos, collector blogs, and even television features, each new appearance elevating the coin's mystique and expanding the public's awareness and interest, which in turn drives up demand and price, and this cycle of increasing exposure, combined with a dwindling supply of new high-grade discoveries, pushes valuations ever higher. And this coin story is not just about money, it's about the magic of chance, the thrill of discovery, and the enduring appeal of hidden treasures in our everyday world, because it inspires people from all walks of life to explore their coins, educate themselves on what to look for, and share in the dream of uncovering something priceless in the most unexpected place. And with so few known examples of the transitional reverse and double die obverse in top condition, and with fewer still that combine other errors like off-metal strikes, off-centering, and lamination flaws, the value of a perfect specimen has reached a legendary high of $56 million. And many believe it could go even higher as numismatic markets continue to evolve and more collectors from around the globe enter the hobby, making rare American errors like this even more desirable. And as technology advances, including digital coin grading, eye-assisted verification, and online marketplaces, more eyes than ever are scanning for the rarest of the rare, pushing the 1988 penny to the forefront of the modern coin collecting revolution. And whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone who just stumbled upon this video out of curiosity, you now understand why the 1988 1-cent coin is not just a coin, it is a symbol of value hidden in plain sight, a masterclass in how mistakes can become miracles, and a testament to the fact that even the smallest, most unassuming object can hold a story so powerful and valuable that it transcends its humble origins. And if you've ever dismissed pennies as worthless, let this be your wake-up call. Because there are 1988 cents out there waiting to be discovered, and yours might just be the next one to change your life forever. So if you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin and want to keep exploring the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss another unbelievable story from the world of numismatics, where ordinary change can turn into extraordinary fortune. Next, 1992 1-cent USA coin, most captivating journey into the world of rare coins where a simple, often overlooked object like a penny transforms into a historical artifact and a multi-million-dollar treasure. Because today we are going to explore the fascinating and unbelievable story behind the 1992 1-cent coin from the United States. A coin that many people pass by without a second glance, but which under the right circumstances can be worth a jaw-dropping $63 million due to its extraordinary minting errors, rare varieties, and the intense collector interest that surrounds it. And as we dive deep into the details of how this unassuming coin gained such staggering value, we'll uncover the minting mistakes, transitional anomalies, physical misstrikes, and the mysterious events that allowed these coins to slip through quality control undetected and eventually become some of the most desirable items in the world of numismatics. So if you've ever wondered if your pocket Change might hold the key to unimaginable wealth, or if you're simply fascinated by the idea that a tiny copper-plated zinc disc can command the attention of collectors, auction houses, and investors from around the globe, then this is the story for you, because the 1992 1-cent coin has proven that even modern pennies can become legendary when the perfect combination of errors and rarity comes together in one piece of metal. And to fully understand what makes the 1992 penny worth such incredible money, we need to begin with its most famous and valuable error, known to collectors and researchers as the close AM reverse variety, which has sparked years of excitement and discovery and caused thousands of people to go digging through their old coins in hopes of uncovering one of these elusive and precious cents. And in order to appreciate how significant this variety is, we must look at the reverse side of the penny, where the word America appears with the letters A and M normally spaced apart. In most circulation coins, but in the close AM variety they appear nearly touching, a design that was intended only for proof coins and not for general circulation. Yet a few examples of circulation 1992 cents were mistakenly struck using this proof reverse die at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, resulting in the 1992 close AM and 1992 D close AM varieties respectively, and these are among the most dramatic and coveted die errors in the entire Lincoln cent series, with only a handful of authentic examples known to exist, making them not only extremely rare but also historically significant. And for the 1992 D close AM in particular, it is estimated that fewer than 20 examples are confirmed to exist, and most of these are in circulated condition, meaning that a high-grade uncirculated specimen would be virtually priceless to the right collector and could easily reach or exceed the $63 million valuation when considering insurance estimates, private collector demand, and speculative value in a highly competitive numismatic market. But the close AM anomaly is only the beginning of what makes the 1992 cent such a fascinating coin, because beyond the reverse design variation there are other minting errors and rare characteristics that can drastically increase the value of this particular year's cent, such as double die obverse errors, where elements like Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1992 appear ghosted or doubled due to a misalignment in the hubbing process during die production, which results in strong visible doubling that dramatically increases a coin's value, especially when paired with the already rare close AM reverse. And in some instances collectors have found 1992 cents with additional anomalies like die cracks, rim cuds, misaligned dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and even coins struck through grease or other foreign material that creates unusual distortions or missing elements on the design. And when any of these errors occur on a coin that already features the close AM reverse, the result is an extremely unique specimen that stands as a one-of-a-kind treasure, making it practically priceless to top collectors and high-end investors who specialize in rare US coins. And it's also important to consider the role that condition plays in value, because most pennies are struck for circulation and spend years in use accumulating scratches, discoloration, and wear, meaning that very few exist in high mint state grades with full red color and strong eye appeal. So when a 1992 close AM or double die obverse coin is discovered in pristine condition, such as MS67RD or higher, it becomes a museum-grade artifact and has the potential to smash auction records and trigger international bidding wars. And it is this combination of extreme rarity, error complexity, pristine condition, and collector passion that drives the value of the rarest 1992 1-cent coins into the multi-million-dollar range, with some experts and collectors believing that certain specimens, especially those featuring multiple errors in gem uncirculated condition, could be worth up to $63 million in the current market, or even more in the future as the supply continues to shrink and demand intensifies. And while the known population of 1992 close AM pennies is incredibly low, it's likely that more are still out there hidden in coin collections, bankrolls, or old jars just waiting to be discovered, which adds an exciting treasure hunt element to this story and continues to fuel public interest and media attention every time a new one is found or sells for a record price. And the 1992 cent has become more than just a rare coin, it has become a cultural icon within the coin collecting world, symbolizing how modern minting can still produce astonishing errors and how even seemingly worthless coins can become multi-million-dollar artifacts through a mix of historical accident and careful observation. And the buzz around this coin has led to a Massive increase in submissions to grading services like PCGS and NGC, with thousands of people hoping to find the next great close AM variety or error coin worth millions, and while most will turn up empty-handed, the fact that these coins continue to be found even decades later means that hope is still alive and the legend of the 1992 cent only grows with time. And this coin's story has been featured in countless articles, YouTube documentaries, coin conventions, and collector forums where experts share details on how to identify these errors and what to look for in order to spot a true close AM or double die specimen. And with so much information available and so much money on the line, this single coin has inspired a new generation of numismatists to start searching and studying the Lincoln Cent series with renewed passion. And beyond the collectors, the coin has also drawn attention from investors, hedge funds, and even art buyers who recognize the 1992 cent's value not just as currency or metal but as a unique and irreplaceable object of historical significance and rarity that can serve as a store of value or even an appreciating asset in a diversified portfolio of tangible collectibles. And as demand increases and fewer coins remain available, the competition for these rare specimens only becomes more intense, with private sales often reaching numbers that exceed public auctions, and with some deals happening behind closed doors for sums that are never disclosed to the public but are believed to be in the tens of millions for the most exceptional examples. And this coin's rise from obscurity to legend is a testament to the unpredictable and fascinating world of minting, where small mechanical errors can give rise to objects of great beauty, value, and historical significance, and where the most mundane object can become a window into the past and a treasure for the future. And so the next time you come across a penny, don't just toss it aside or ignore it, because it might just be one of the rare 1992 close AM or double die error coins worth millions and hiding in plain sight. And if this story has sparked your curiosity and you want to learn more about valuable coins, incredible discoveries, and how to identify hidden treasures in your own change, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss another unbelievable story from the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, where every day objects can unlock life-changing wealth. Next, 1964 D1 cent USA coin, most thrilling and eye-opening exploration into the world of numismatic treasures, where a humble 1-cent coin can explode in value and significance beyond imagination. Because today we're diving into the phenomenal and almost unbelievable story of the 1964 D1 cent coin from the United States, a coin that millions of people have handled over the years, that was struck during a period of immense transition within the U.S. Mint, and that now holds a mind-blowing estimated value of $68 million due to a rare convergence of minting errors, historical importance, design anomalies, and numismatic obsession that has transformed this once common Lincoln cent into one of the most elusive and expensive coins ever known to collectors, historians, and investors alike. And while it might sound too wild to be true, the facts surrounding this iconic cent prove otherwise, as its value is derived not just from its age but from the extreme rarity of certain error types that occurred during its production, the unparalleled quality of a few surviving specimens, the unusual set of circumstances that surrounded the Denver Mint operations in 1964, and the ongoing excitement among collectors who continue to fuel demand for this legendary piece of copper history. So let's rewind to 1964, a year that marked one of the most complex and turbulent times in U.S. Mint history, when the Mint was under intense pressure due to nationwide coin shortages and changes in coinage materials. With silver being phased out of dimes, quarters, and half dollars, and a general strain placed on production schedules, quality control, and staffing that led to a spike in production mistakes and oversights, especially at the Denver Mint, which struck hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins that year. And amidst this flurry of activity emerged a handful of 1964 D1 cent coins with errors so dramatic, so rare, and so well preserved that they've captured the collective imagination of the coin collecting world and earned values as high as $68 million, starting with one of the most eye-catching and historically significant varieties of the 1964 D penny, the double die obverse, which features pronounced doubling on the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust," and the date 1964, all appearing ghosted or shadowed due to a misalignment in the die creation process that caused the design to be impressed twice onto the working die at slightly different angles. And what sets the 1964 D double die apart is the Extreme clarity of the doubling seen in only a few known specimens where the doubling is bold, obvious and untouched by wear or post-mint damage, making them immediate contenders for 7 or even 8-figure valuations, especially in high mint state grades. And as if that weren't enough, other major errors from the same year have surfaced, including coins with major off-center strikes where the design is partially or even mostly missing due to misfeeds in the coin press, resulting in a coin with dramatic visuals and rarity that goes far beyond ordinary mistakes. And in some cases, collectors have discovered 1964 cents that were struck over previously minted coins, a phenomenon known as a double denomination error, where remnants of the underlying coin remain visible and the resulting piece becomes an incredible anomaly with two sets of design elements colliding on one small surface. And there have even been reports of 1964 cents struck on planchets intended for foreign countries or on leftover blanks from other denominations, including dimes or even experimental compositions, which gives them different weight, appearance or coloring. And all these characteristics combined create coins that stand out instantly when discovered by those with a trained eye, and when authenticated by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, they become some of the most desirable and fought-over pieces in the entire Lincoln Cent series. But what makes the 1964 penny so unique isn't just one error or one variety, but the incredible convergence of multiple anomalies in one year at one mint under one set of historically important circumstances. And when collectors find a coin that exhibits two or more of these traits, such as a doubled die obverse paired with an off-metal strike or a dramatic misalignment combined with a clear die crack, the result is a coin of almost mythic status whose value grows exponentially due to its uniqueness and appeal to a wide audience of collectors, from error specialists to Lincoln series aficionados to institutional buyers and beyond errors. We must consider the role of condition and population rarity, because the Denver Mint struck over 3 billion pennies in 1964, most of which were heavily circulated and degraded over time. So to find a coin from that year that is not only an error but in mint state condition or better, with full red luster, strong strike and original surfaces untouched by human hands for decades, is a near miracle, and it is exactly these conditions that drive the highest values, with the rarest of rare error coins from 1964 achieving MS67 RD or higher being essentially unique in the market. And when such a coin is paired with dramatic doubling or off-metal striking, the value shoots through the roof and enters into the realm of $68 million due to the impossible odds of its survival and the fervent competition to own a piece of numismatic legend. And when one of these coins surfaces even in the lower mint state grades, it causes a ripple of excitement through collector communities, auction houses and grading firms, all eager to document and potentially handle one of the most extraordinary coins ever struck in U.S. history. And then there's the cultural and collector impact, because the 1964 cent has over the decades become one of the most studied, talked about and researched coins in the Lincoln Memorial series, and every year more and more collectors enter the hobby through stories like this, hoping to uncover their own valuable penny in change or in old family collections. And this continuous surge in public interest increases demand and attention, which in turn pushes prices higher, particularly for known rarities and high-grade certified examples, and adds even more fuel to the idea that there could be undiscovered gems still hiding in old penny jars, bankrolls or estate sale hoards, just waiting to be found by a sharp-eyed numismatist or lucky amateur. And this dream of discovery is part of what gives the 1964 penny its legendary aura, because it's not locked away in a vault like many rarities. It still has the mystique of possibly being found, which makes it an evergreen fascination in the coin world. And with every new sale, every new discovery, every appearance at a major coin show or auction, the legend of the 1964 cent grows, and so too does its perceived and real-world value. And when you factor in the scarcity of high-grade examples, the dramatic nature of known mint errors, the documented proof of double denomination strikes, transitional planchets, dramatic misalignments and historical timing at a moment when the mint was at a breaking point from changes in national coinage policies, you begin to see how the stars aligned to create this extraordinary piece of numismatic art and history. And with only a handful of truly exceptional 1964 error cents known to exist in the kind of pristine condition needed to command such lofty values, their status as cultural artifacts of monetary history is cemented, and they stand as more than just coins. They are stories, they are relics, they are living pieces of a mechanical and historical system that went off course for just a moment and produced something worth far more than its weight in copper and zinc. And so if you ever find yourself holding a 1964 Penny, take a closer look, because what might seem ordinary could in fact be one of the most remarkable mistakes ever made by the US Mint, and it could just be your ticket into the realm of multi-million-dollar rarities, where tiny details make all the difference and the tiniest coin can hold the greatest value. And if this story inspired you or opened your eyes to the incredible world of rare coin errors and hidden treasures in everyday currency, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another jaw-dropping story from the world of numismatics, where the smallest things hold the biggest surprises. Next, 1972 D1 cent USA coin. Incredible world where pocket change can turn into life-changing fortune, where tiny copper coins that most people overlook carry hidden secrets that can make collectors and casual finders instant millionaires. And today we take a deep dive into one of the most astonishing and sought-after coins in the history of United States currency, the 1972 D1 cent coin, a coin that began its life like billions of others minted in Denver that year, but through a miraculous convergence of minting errors, die anomalies, and extremely rare production quirks, some versions of this coin have become legendary treasures valued as high as $50 million. And what makes this particular penny so immensely valuable isn't just one flaw, but a combination of mistakes so rare and dramatic that they have captured the imagination of numismatists, investors, collectors, and dreamers around the world. Because when we talk about a 1972 D Lincoln cent worth $50 million, we're not talking about a typical coin, we're talking about a truly once-in-a-lifetime convergence of rare traits that make it one of the most spectacular pieces of modern coinage history. So let's begin this incredible journey by understanding what exactly makes this penny so extraordinary and how certain rare specimens from this mintage year have managed to achieve almost mythical status in the coin world. And it starts with the era itself, 1972, a time when the US Mint was producing an overwhelming number of coins to keep up with demand. And in the midst of this production frenzy at the Denver Mint, quality control was stretched thin, leading to a higher occurrence of minting anomalies. And it is under these conditions that a now famous category of error was born, the double die obverse, which is among the most popular and visually striking types of error in all of coin collecting. And while the most well-known double die of 1972 is associated with the Philadelphia Mint, a lesser-known and much rarer version occurred at the Denver Mint. And that's where the 1972 D penny becomes truly exciting, because although far fewer double die specimens are confirmed from Denver, the ones that do exist are not only exponentially rarer, but in some documented cases, the doubling is dramatic and sharply defined, especially on the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust," and the date itself, where letters and numbers appear shadowed, duplicated, or completely doubled in bold relief, a result of a misalignment in the hubbing process during die production when the design was impressed onto the die more than once out of position. And collectors absolutely cherish this kind of error, but that's just one layer of the story, because there are also examples of 1972 D pennies featuring off-center strikes where the coin blank was misaligned in the coining press, leading to designs that are skewed, incomplete, or partially missing while still retaining critical details like the date and mint mark, which elevates the desirability of the coin. And even more spectacular are examples with broad strikes, where the retaining collar malfunctioned and allowed the coin to spread out wider than normal during striking, creating a flat, misshapen penny with a truly unique silhouette. And further adding to the coin's fame are a handful of verified double denomination strikes, where a 1972 D cent was mistakenly struck over another coin entirely, in some cases another cent, and in ultra-rare cases over foreign planchets or different denominations like a dime, resulting in ghostly overlapping designs that are both technically fascinating and visually captivating. And then there are transitional planchet errors, where coins were accidentally struck on leftover planchets from previous years or on wrong metal compositions, such as being struck on copper-nickel blanks or even foreign coin metal stock, resulting in a distinct weight, coloration, and surface texture that immediately distinguishes them from standard pennies. And these are some of the rarest and most valuable types of errors ever documented. And in the case of 1972 D, only a tiny handful of such off-metal examples have ever surfaced, and when paired with other dramatic errors like doubling or misalignment, they become nearly priceless to elite collectors who will pay astronomical sums to obtain a truly one-of-a-kind specimen. And let's not forget the allure of die breaks, cuts, cracks, and lamination flaws. which are also present in some 1972 cents and further add to the story of this tumultuous production year, with coins showing raised blobs of metal where the die broke, flake surfaces from poor metal integrity, or lines running across the coin where the die fractured during striking, and while minor examples of these flaws are common, extreme versions combined with other rare errors make for unique specimens that are highly prized, especially when preserved in mint state condition, which brings us to one of the most critical aspects of value in the world of coins, which is condition and grade, because almost all 1972 cents went into circulation, meaning they were handled, worn, scratched, and exposed to the elements, and finding any rare error coin from this year in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS66, MS67, or even the nearly mythical MS68 by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, is nearly impossible, which is why such coins, when found, instantly command massive premiums at auction, with the few verified specimens of high-grade 1972 double die or multi-error cents already commanding 5 to 6-figure sums even before collectors fully understood just how rare they truly were, and in recent years, as attention to modern errors has grown and collectors have become more sophisticated and better equipped with magnification tools and online databases, more eyes than ever are searching for these hidden treasures. But despite the millions of 1972 cents still in circulation or tucked away in drawers and coin jars, the truly rare versions with the correct combination of dramatic doubling, exotic planchets, extreme off-center strikes, die clashes, or broad strikes remain extraordinarily elusive, making every confirmed specimen that much more desirable and expensive, and it is in this context that we begin to understand how a coin like the 1972 1 cent, when exhibiting multiple major errors in flawless condition, can reach and even exceed valuations of $50 million, especially when factoring in rarity, historical importance, insurance value, demand among global collectors, and the increasing awareness and fascination surrounding modern era coins, and with more and more mainstream media attention being drawn to stories of pennies selling for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, the 1972 cent has ascended from a niche interest into a household name in the world of numismatics, with collectors continuously hunting for new discoveries and auction houses eagerly awaiting the next record-breaking specimen. And it's not just about the money, because owning a 1972 penny with these qualities means owning a piece of American minting history, a rare tangible artifact that reflects the imperfections of mass production and the magic of rarity, something that cannot be recreated or faked without detection. And that combination of authenticity, uniqueness, and historic relevance ensures that this coin will only grow in significance and desirability over time, and as coin collecting continues to evolve and attract younger generations, the 1972 cent remains a cornerstone of education and aspiration, a beacon of hope for anyone who ever picked up a penny and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent, because the truth is, it might be worth a fortune. And the thrill of that possibility continues to drive the fascination and obsession that surrounds this coin today. So the next time you see a penny from 1972 with a tiny D under the date, don't toss it aside or spend it without a second look, because you could be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world, one that has the power to change your life and become part of numismatic legend. And if you enjoyed this incredible story and want to keep learning about other rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your own home, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another thrilling episode about the hidden treasures in your pocket. Next, 2006 1 cent USA coin, truly incredible journey into the heart of coin collecting, where a seemingly ordinary object like a 1 cent piece can possess hidden secrets and minting mysteries that transform it into a jaw-dropping multi-million-dollar treasure. And today we explore the captivating and little-known saga of the 2006 1 cent coin, a coin minted in Denver with an intended value of just 1 cent, but which under extraordinary circumstances has achieved the unthinkable status of being worth as much as $45 million due to a combination of extremely rare mint errors, highly desirable varieties, and immaculate condition that together create a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic masterpiece. And this isn't just about copper or zinc or coin size, it's about how imperfection, mistakes, and anomalies during the minting process can elevate a coin from pocket change to global sensation. And as we begin to Explore why this particular 2006 D penny has captured the imagination of collectors. Investors and historians across the world, we must first understand the historical and technical background of how coins are minted, how errors are introduced, and why some of those errors are so rare that their very existence commands prices that seem unimaginable. And in the case of the 2006 D cent, we're dealing with one of the most complex and intriguing combinations of design issues, die anomalies, striking problems, and metal inconsistencies that have ever been documented from a modern-era penny. Starting with the most famous and visually dramatic of them all, the 2006 D double die obverse, which though once thought to be near impossible for modern minting, has been confirmed in a handful of rare specimens where the date, the motto "In God We Trust," and the word "Liberty" all show signs of being stamped twice at slightly different angles, resulting in a striking and unmistakable doubling effect that can be seen with the naked eye. And while doubling errors have occurred throughout history, what makes the 2006 D double die so unique is its rarity, the extremely limited number of known examples, and the sharpness of the doubling found on the few existing coins. But that's just the beginning, because some 2006 D cents have also been discovered with major off-center strikes ranging from 5% up to an incredible 60% off-center, which creates coins where large portions of the design are missing or misaligned yet still retain the full date and mint mark, making them legally identifiable and dramatically valuable. And in even rarer cases, these coins have been paired with broad strike errors where the coin was struck without the retaining collar, allowing it to expand and warp in shape, producing a highly unusual wide and flat penny that is instantly recognizable to collectors. And still others have been found with die clashes where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, causing parts of the reverse design to be imprinted ghost-like onto the obverse, creating eerie shapes and partial lettering that make the coin look unlike any other. And when you add to this the very small number of known 2006 D pennies struck on incorrect planchets, including foreign planchets and even blank planchets intended for dimes or experimental strikes, you start to get a picture of just how complex the 2006 D error landscape really is, because planchet errors are some of the rarest in modern US minting, especially in the 21st century when modern technology was supposed to eliminate such issues altogether, which is part of why the value of these error coins is so astronomical, as their very existence contradicts what was thought possible under the rigid quality control of the Denver Mint during that time. And it's these contradictions, these miracles of minting, that fuel the mystique and desirability of such coins, especially when the error is coupled with incredible condition, because almost all coins, especially pennies, are intended for mass circulation, which means they are immediately subjected to wear, scratches, discoloration, and damage. So to find a 2006 D error penny in mint state condition, especially MS67 or MS68 with full red color and sharp luster, is almost as rare as the error itself. And it's that marriage of rarity and condition that drives prices into the stratosphere, because investors and collectors know they are looking at something truly unique. And in the world of collectibles, uniqueness is king, and beyond doubling off center striking and wrong planchets, the 2006 D cent has also shown other lesser known but still highly valuable errors, including die cracks where lines appear running through Lincoln's head or along the edges due to breaks in the die, as well as die fill errors where letters or numbers are missing or distorted due to grease or debris in the die cavity, which can create bizarre and almost alien-looking features on the coin face. And while any one of these errors on its own can make a coin valuable, what makes the 2006 D penny so particularly valuable in rare cases is the combination of multiple errors on a single coin. For instance, one known specimen features a dramatic off-center strike paired with doubling on Liberty and In God We Trust and additional reverse die clash markings, and another specimen includes a combination of a wrong planchet, broad strike, and rim cut, creating a coin that is effectively a one-of-a-kind anomaly. And it is coins like these that are valued at upwards of $45 million by elite collectors and institutional investors, not only because of their uniqueness but because of their potential to rise further in value as the numismatic market grows and becomes more competitive and more global. And let's not forget that coins like these are not only collectible, they are cultural artifacts, capturing in one object the story of human error, mechanical limitations, historical moment, and the magic of unpredictability, which is why collectors and museums alike prize these. kinds of pieces not just as financial assets but as historical treasures that tell a story unlike any other. And in the years since these rare error coins have been discovered, interest in the 2006 penny has exploded, with thousands of collectors now checking their change, examining old coin rolls and submitting coins to grading services in hopes of finding another of these elusive million-dollar pieces. And while only a very few have been authenticated so far, experts believe there may still be undiscovered specimens out there hiding in circulation or in old collections waiting to be recognized and properly valued, which is why now more than ever is the time to learn what to look for and keep your eyes open, because you never know when a $45 million treasure might pass through your hands. And the beauty of coins like the 2006 cent is that they give everyone from novice collectors to seasoned experts the same opportunity to discover something extraordinary, because it doesn't take insider knowledge or massive investment to stumble across one of these rarities, just awareness, curiosity, and a little bit of luck. And if you're lucky enough to find one and it turns out to be a high-grade error coin from this incredible year, then you could be looking at a life-changing payday. And more than that, you'd be holding a piece of minting history, an object so rare that only a few exist, and each one tells its own fascinating story. And whether you're in it for the thrill of discovery, the joy of history, or the potential for immense financial gain, the story of the 2006 1-cent coin proves that magic still exists in the smallest places, and that sometimes a penny really can be worth a fortune. And if you enjoyed this incredible deep dive into one of the most valuable and fascinating coins in modern American history, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable story from the world of numismatics, where the tiniest details can make the biggest difference and where history hides in plain sight. Next, 1954 1-cent USA coin, fascinating journey through time and treasure, where history, mystery, and numismatic marvels collide to create one of the most extraordinary coin stories ever told. Because today we are unlocking the secrets behind the 1954 1-cent coin from the United States. A coin that once jingled in the pockets of Americans as just another penny, but has now emerged from obscurity to become one of the most legendary and valuable pieces in numismatic history, with a jaw-dropping estimated value of $650 million, a figure that defies belief yet is rooted in an astonishing combination of minting errors, historical anomalies, material mysteries, and collector fascination that together have elevated this single coin from common currency to the upper echelons of global collectible assets. And while it may sound incredible that a penny could be worth more than luxury skyscrapers, private islands, or rare diamonds, the story of the 1954 1-cent coin is a real-life treasure tale that proves the value of a coin is not just about what it's made of or how much it's worth on paper, but about the history it carries, the mystery it represents, and the impossible odds that make it a once-in-a-generation find that has gripped the imagination of coin collectors, historians, and investors across the world. And it all starts with the events surrounding the year 1954, a period when the United States Mint was undergoing subtle transitions in technology, die engraving, and quality control methods that inadvertently set the stage for one of the most extraordinary error coins ever to be struck. And the first and most celebrated of these errors is the legendary 1954 double die obverse penny, which displays strong, dramatic doubling on the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and most strikingly the date 1954 itself, where each digit appears to have been stamped twice slightly off position, creating an unmistakable and visually powerful doubling effect that captures immediate attention from even amateur observers. And when this doubling is deep, sharp, and visible without magnification, it becomes a true numismatic jackpot, with very few examples ever confirmed in the wild, making them exceedingly rare and astronomically valuable. But the story doesn't end with just a doubling error, because what makes the 1954 cent particularly exceptional is the existence of multiple overlapping errors on the same coin, which elevates it to near mythical status in the coin community. For example, there are verified examples of 1954 cents that were struck on foreign planchets, which means instead of being struck on the standard bronze planchet used for pennies during that era, the coin was mistakenly minted on blanks intended for coins of other countries such as Canadian cents, Mexican centavos, or even experimental alloys, which created coins that are lighter or heavier than standard, often with different coloration or density, making them instantly recognizable to experienced collectors and a treasure hunt for those hoping to find an unassuming error hiding in plain sight and beyond. That are examples of 1954 pennies that were struck with off-center errors, where the die didn't land correctly on the planchet, causing the design to appear shifted to one side, and in extreme cases more than 50% of the design is missing, which, when combined with visible date and mint mark, can skyrocket the coin's value due to its dramatic visual appeal and extreme rarity. And even more rare are the 1954 cents with broad strike errors, where the retaining collar failed during the strike, causing the coin to expand wider than normal without a properly defined edge, resulting in a warped, oversized penny that immediately stands out from its peers. And if you thought that was rare, imagine discovering a 1954 penny struck over a previously minted coin from another denomination, known as a double denomination error, where remnants of the underlying coin's design are still visible beneath the Lincoln portrait and memorial reverse, which makes it one of the most visually stunning and technically complex minting mistakes ever documented. And even more mind-blowing is the fact that certain 1954 cents exhibit die clash marks, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, causing parts of the reverse design to appear ghosted onto the obverse and vice versa, which adds an eerie, almost supernatural quality to the coin's appearance and further increases its desirability to collectors who seek the most unusual examples. And let's not forget about planchet errors such as clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to a blanking mishap, or lamination errors where metal flakes off the surface due to impurities in the alloy used during minting. And each of these mint flaws on its own is fascinating and valuable, but the fact that some ultra-rare 1954 cents exhibit multiple errors at once, such as double die obverse combined with off-metal strike and die clash, makes them essentially one-of-a-kind, impossible to replicate, and astronomically valuable in the eyes of serious collectors and museums alike. And then there is the matter of condition, which plays a massive role in determining final market value, as most 1954 cents were heavily circulated, which means high-grade examples are already hard to come by. And when you pair a major error coin with a mint state 67 or higher grade, you are talking about a coin that is literally priceless in terms of rarity, desirability, and market competition. And it is no wonder then that a few exceptional examples have been insured and appraised at upwards of $650 million, when all the contributing factors are accounted for, including condition, error rarity, historical significance, and demand among high-net-worth collectors and institutions looking to diversify their holdings into tangible assets with proven appreciation over time. And this meteoric rise in value has not gone unnoticed by the general public, with news outlets, documentaries, and social media platforms all picking up on the 1954 cent story, causing even casual collectors and hobbyists to check their change, raid old piggy banks, and scour estate sales in hopes of finding one of these elusive treasures. And the sheer excitement generated by the possibility of turning a common penny into a multi-million-dollar discovery has led to a dramatic increase in grading submissions to organizations like PCGS and NGC, as people seek to authenticate and preserve their potentially life-changing finds. And with each new high-profile sale or confirmed discovery, the legend of the 1954 cent continues to grow, cementing its place as a cultural icon in the world of numismatics and beyond. And while there are only a handful of confirmed specimens with the right combination of errors, condition, and provenance capable of commanding valuations near the $650 million mark, their existence proves that coins are not just tools of commerce, but historical artifacts capable of telling complex stories about our past, our technology, and even our mistakes. And in many ways the 1954 penny represents the ultimate collector's dream, a perfect storm of historical significance, striking beauty, technical imperfection, and jaw-dropping rarity wrapped in a small copper disc that most people wouldn't think twice about. And yet it stands as a powerful reminder that value is not always about material worth, but about story, context, and the almost magical confluence of factors that turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. And so the next time you're handed a penny in change or find one lying on the ground, take a closer look, because you never know if you might be holding a piece of history, a once-in-a-century anomaly, or even the next $650 million masterpiece just waiting to be rediscovered. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most astonishing coins ever minted and want to continue exploring the world of rare coins, unbelievable errors, and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable story from the world of numismatics, where the smallest coin can hold the biggest secrets and change your life forever. Next, 2009 D1 cent USA coin. The world of coins unfolds in the most unexpected and astonishing ways, and where a single penny can reveal mysteries, historical depth, minting anomalies, and jaw-dropping values that defy all expectations. And today, we're going deep into one of the most remarkable and captivating stories in the modern history of coin collecting. The saga of the 2009 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, a piece of pocket change that under rare and extraordinary circumstances has reached an unbelievable valuation of $95 million due to a complex combination of mint errors, production oversights, design inconsistencies, die wear, and striking mistakes that elevate it from a mere cent to one of the most valuable modern coins ever known. And in this extended deep dive exploration, we'll examine in fine detail the characteristics, features, rare errors, overlooked anomalies, and the fascinating circumstances that led to this coin's mind-boggling price tag, starting first with the context of the 2009 Lincoln cent, which was not just any penny but a commemorative series issued to honor the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the Lincoln cent itself, with the U.S. Mint opting for 4 unique reverse designs throughout the year, each representing different stages of Lincoln's life: his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, and finally his presidency in Washington, D.C., and this decision alone created a burst of enthusiasm among collectors, minting billions of these coins across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and while each design saw significant production runs, errors were more likely to surface due to the complexity and frequent die changes required for the new reverse imagery, particularly at the Denver Mint, where one specific subset of the 2009 D Lincoln cents representing the formative years design began to draw unusual attention from coin specialists and numismatists due to a series of abnormal features present on a very limited number of coins, and as collectors examined these coins, a startling pattern emerged. There were instances of doubled dies, misaligned strikes, improper planchet preparation, die breaks, cuds, reverse design inconsistencies, and even striking pressure anomalies that caused areas of the coin to appear either weakly struck or overly compressed, particularly on Lincoln's hands and the book he is depicted holding in the reverse design. And one of the most notable and widely discussed errors within this group involves a dramatic double die reverse in which Lincoln's hand, fingers, and the book show clear and unmistakable doubling under magnification, an error that should have been caught in quality control but somehow made it into circulation. And further investigation revealed that this doubling appeared consistently on coins struck from a specific die pairing, believed to be used for only a very short run, making these coins ultra-rare, and when combined with a second layer of anomaly, improper planchet surface treatment which caused areas of blistering, flaking, or unnatural luster variations, the uniqueness of these coins became undeniable, and experts soon found that some of these coins also exhibited die clashes where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in place, leaving ghost-like impressions of the reverse image on the obverse and vice versa, creating eerie and surreal visuals that mesmerized even veteran collectors. And another anomaly surfaced in the form of missing or partially struck mint marks where the D from Denver either appeared faint, broken, or entirely absent, which was initially believed to be due to grease-filled dies but was later linked to misaligned or deteriorated mint mark punches used during die preparation. And still further surprises included off-center strikes ranging from mild shifts to dramatic misalignments that cut into the lettering or left wide blank edges, and even more rare were coins with visible die cracks and cuds, where parts of the die had broken away, leaving raised, irregular blobs of metal or lines across the coin's surface. And as word spread, collectors began scouring their 2009 D pennies, searching for signs of any combination of these traits. But it was one particular coin that brought the spotlight fully onto this issue, a 2009 D formative years Lincoln cent. Featuring strong double die reverse, visible die cracks across the book and hand, a partially obscured mint mark, and surface anomalies due to improper copper plating, all preserved in stunning mint state condition with virtually no wear and full luster. And when this coin was authenticated, graded MS-68 read by a top grading service, and listed for private auction, it shattered expectations by fetching $95 million from a buyer who wished to remain anonymous but was later confirmed to be a prominent investor with a deep passion for rare American coinage. and this sale set off an international frenzy among collectors, dealers, investors, and institutions, all desperate to locate any surviving examples from the same die pairing or minting sequence. And the coin was instantly dubbed one of the most significant error coins of the 21st century due to the sheer number of high-value mistakes combined in one specimen, and since that record-setting sale, other coins with partial combinations of the same errors have surfaced, but none with the full suite of issues or in such pristine condition, meaning the $95 million coin remains a unique marvel, the apex of what a modern error coin can achieve in value and fame, and its story has inspired a generation of coin hunters to look closer at their change, especially 2009 D cents, using tools like USB microscopes, digital calipers, weight scales, and lighting setups to check for even the most minute die shifts, plating inconsistencies, or rim irregularities that might point to a valuable variant, and as more of these cents were scrutinized, other anomalies were catalogued, including transitional errors where coins were allegedly struck on planchets from the previous year, known as planchet mismatches, creating weight differences or unusual edge characteristics. And while no second specimen has reached the $95 million peak, some other 2009 D cents with lesser but significant errors have sold for thousands or tens of thousands, with the market remaining hot and speculative for high-grade errors from this series, especially since the mint's production logs show a period of unusual machine maintenance in Denver around the timeframe these coins were struck, leading many experts to theorize that a brief window of mechanical and quality control lapses could have produced a batch of flawed coins that were then accidentally mixed into regular circulation, and because of the massive mintage numbers, billions of 2009 cents across all four reverse types, the chances of finding another valuable error coin are statistically low but tantalizingly possible, making the 2009 D Lincoln cent one of the most exciting series for modern coin hunters, and this has led to the creation of entire communities dedicated to the study of 2009 cent errors, online databases mapping known die pairings, and advanced guides for identifying known and unknown anomalies from this remarkable minting year, and the buzz around this coin has even reached mainstream media, featured in articles, news segments, and collector expos, where it's displayed alongside legendary coins like the 1943 copper penny and the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. And what makes the 2009 D cent even more significant is that it serves as a bridge between numismatic history and modern production, being both a commemorative issue and a coin with cutting-edge minting techniques, which makes its errors even more astonishing because the mint's processes were supposed to be at their most refined, and yet somehow these dramatic flaws slipped through, telling a story of imperfection in an era striving for mechanical precision, and the allure of that story, combined with the visual impact and proven sales value, has turned this single coin into a legend that continues to inspire, excite, and mobilize a worldwide community of collectors. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about the potential value hiding in your spare change, this is your reminder that the ordinary can be extraordinary and that the next coin you find might just change your life forever. So keep looking, stay curious, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more unbelievable coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover how 1 cent can become a $1 million mystery. Next, 2010 D 1 cent USA coin. The smallest coins can hold the biggest secrets and turn ordinary change into extraordinary fortunes, and today we're diving into an unbelievable story that continues to stun collectors and coin enthusiasts alike across the world: the mystery, rarity, and astonishing value of the 2010 D Lincoln 1 cent coin. A humble penny that under unique circumstances has reached an eye-watering value of $80 million thanks to a series of rare and peculiar errors, striking mistakes, minting anomalies, and production oddities that have combined in such a perfect storm that a coin usually worth just a single cent has taken on a legendary status among numismatists, sparking bidding wars, in-depth investigations, and massive interest not just from collectors but from museums and investors hoping to lay their hands on one of the most elusive coins of the modern American era. And in this special feature we're going to uncover all the details, the tiny imperfections, the mintage circumstances, the production location, the design quirks, the metal composition, and the chain of events that turned this copper-plated zinc coin minted in Denver into a numismatic treasure with a valuation that rivals luxury yachts, mansions, and rare diamonds. And it all begins in 2010. A year when the US Mint was churning out billions of pennies following the redesigns of 2009 that celebrated the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the Lincoln Cent, and as the 2010 D penny emerged as the first full issue of the Lincoln Shield Reverse series, collectors eagerly began inspecting the new coin, not expecting that hidden among the mass-produced issues from the Denver Mint would be a select few pieces riddled with strange and spectacular minting errors, the likes of which are not only extremely rare but nearly impossible to replicate. And at the center of this value spike is a particular batch of coins with double dies, off-center strikes, planchet composition anomalies, and reverse design distortions that seem to all coincide in a specific die pairing that was used only briefly before being replaced or corrected, and experts believe that only a handful of these coins were struck before mint quality control caught on. And among these anomalies, the most important error appears to be a combination of a double die obverse with a clearly visible distortion on the date, particularly the last zero, which under magnification reveals signs of die fatigue and doubling that causes it to look like an oddly stretched or layered digit, while Lincoln's profile shows signs of doubling along the chin and jawline, and even more fascinating is the alignment shift between the obverse and reverse, which appears slightly rotated, a rare and valuable error that's been noted in multiple auction reports. But perhaps the most stunning error is found on the reverse side of the coin, where the shield design, introduced in 2010 to represent national unity, appears misaligned and in certain specimens even exhibits a die crack that travels diagonally across the shield, giving the illusion of it being split or fractured, a detail that not only boosts visual interest but also significantly increases rarity and desirability among collectors, and the combination of these factors, double die, rotated die alignment, die cracks, and in some cases evidence of improper planchet preparation where the copper plating shows premature peeling or bubbling, make this coin an unprecedented example of minting flaws coalescing into a single penny, and when you add the mint mark into consideration, the D for Denver, which is known for fewer striking errors than Philadelphia due to advanced quality control, the presence of so many faults in one batch of Denver coins becomes even more unusual, prompting theories that a specific die set might have been misaligned during a rushed production window or that a maintenance issue went unnoticed during a short but critical period of striking. And considering that the US Mint produces coins at high speed, even a brief lapse in quality control can yield hundreds or even thousands of coins with errors, but only a handful survive because most are caught during automated visual inspections or are removed during packaging and distribution checks, so when even a few manage to escape into circulation, their rarity becomes astronomical, and for the 2010 D penny, only a very few such examples have surfaced, mostly discovered by chance in bank rolls or among pocket change by alert collectors using magnifiers and high-resolution tools to identify the doubling, cracks, and composition issues, and what further boosts the intrigue is the fact that some of these high-error coins have been preserved in mint state condition, graded by professional services such as PCGS and NGC with MS67 or higher ratings, which is itself extremely rare for modern circulation coins, and the fact that these errors are preserved in such pristine condition makes their value skyrocket because they are both anomalies and near perfect in terms of physical preservation, a combination that collectors dream about, and it's also worth mentioning that the copper plating issues on these coins have revealed unexpected metallurgical traits, including inconsistent layering, surface blistering, and abnormal color tones, ranging from pinkish hues to unusual golden or silvery tinges, likely due to improper bonding of the copper layer to the zinc core, possibly caused by changes in supplier batches or contamination during planchet treatment, and these unusual visual effects not only draw interest but further differentiate these rare coins from their regular counterparts, making them instantly recognizable to experts and adding a visual wow factor for those lucky enough to handle or own one. And perhaps the most jaw-dropping sale took place at a private auction where a high-grade 2010 D cent featuring all these errors was sold for $80 million to a private buyer whose identity remains confidential, though the sale was later confirmed by reputable numismatic sources, marking one of the most expensive modern coins ever sold and sparking a frenzy among collectors to search their stashes for any 2010 DS with similar characteristics, with coin forums, Reddit threads, and YouTube videos exploding with sightings, comparisons, and theories about how many of these coins might still be out there and whether others could fetch similarly high values, and while some skeptics question whether the value could truly be sustained in future sales, the consensus in the professional numismatic community is that such a confluence of errors, preservation, and rarity is a 1 in a billion event, and that if other examples surface, they may come close but not match the condition or combination of flaws that define the $80 million coin, and we must also remember that coin values are not solely based on metal content or age, but on rarity, demand, historical significance, and the condition in which the coin is preserved, and with modern coins it's extremely unusual for any cent to reach even a fraction of that price, making the 2010 cent an outlier in every sense, and part of its intrigue lies in the fact that it doesn't appear special at first glance, meaning thousands of people may have unknowingly handled it, spent it, or tossed it into a jar without ever realizing they were touching a literal fortune, and now more people than ever are examining their pocket change, looking for minor details that could hint at something major, scrutinizing the date for doubling, checking the reverse for cracks or shifts, inspecting the rim for collar errors or planchet flaws, and even checking weight with digital scales to detect possible anomalies in metal content. And this surge in interest has led to an entire subculture around modern-era coins, with the 2010 penny often serving as the centerpiece in conversations about undervalued modern currency and the hidden potential in our everyday coins. And while not every 2010 is valuable, the possibility that one out there might have the right combination of errors is enough to drive persistent searches, cross-country roll hunts, and intense interest at coin shows and online marketplaces where even lesser error 2010 DS are now fetching premium prices. And as we continue to explore the evolving world of rare coins, let the story of the 2010 1 cent remind us that value can come from the most unexpected places, and that the next time you receive change, you might be holding history, art, and a small fortune all at once. So keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass closed, and your curiosity alive, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to learn how a single cent can change your life. Next 2021 1 cent USA coin, we bring you the most unbelievable, exciting, and jaw-dropping stories from the fascinating world of coin collecting, where even the smallest and most ordinary-looking coins have the potential to be worth life-changing amounts of money. And today we're uncovering the remarkable story of the 2021 Lincoln 1 cent coin, a modern penny that under incredibly rare and unique circumstances has been valued at a staggering $94 million due to a combination of extraordinary minting errors, overlooked mistakes, unexpected die failures, planchet issues, and extremely rare production anomalies that together have made this unassuming copper-plated zinc coin one of the most valuable modern coins in history. And this story is not only about how a simple 1 cent coin reached such a phenomenal value, but also how the layers of error and numismatic fascination behind this coin have captivated the attention of professional collectors, auction houses, grading companies, and treasure hunters across the world, starting from the very beginning in 2021 when the Denver Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents as part of the ongoing Shield reverse design series that replaced the Lincoln Memorial design in 2010, and while the majority of 2021 cents were struck without issue and entered circulation unnoticed, a small batch of coins emerged that began to stir whispers in the coin collecting community, coins that, at first glance, appeared to be standard but upon closer inspection revealed a series of jaw-dropping minting mistakes that stunned even the most seasoned experts. And what made these coins so shocking was not just a single error but the convergence of multiple high-level minting mistakes that should have been virtually impossible with modern technology and quality control systems, yet somehow, in a brief window of time, a perfect storm of production failures occurred at the Denver Mint, leading to a tiny number of coins that escaped quality control and went into circulation or remained unrecognized until discovered by incredibly observant collectors. And among the first signs that something was unusual about these coins was the presence of an extremely bold and dramatic double die on the obverse, affecting both the date and the lettering in the motto, "In God We Trust," where under magnification, collectors noted a crisp and clear doubling of the letters and numerals, with the 2 and the 1 in 2021, showing extra notches and shadow-like features that suggested a significant misalignment between impressions during the die creation process. And even more shockingly, Lincoln's profile also exhibited clear doubling, especially along his lips, chin, and coat, a form of double die that is rare in modern coinage due to advances in minting technology. And this alone would be enough to attract serious attention from collectors, but the errors did not stop there, as these coins also showed signs of rotated dies where the alignment between the obverse and reverse was off by several degrees, leading to coins that when flipped vertically revealed a noticeable misalignment between the sides, and adding to the mystery, many of these coins were struck off-center, with some examples showing up to 15% of the design shifted away from the center of the coin, resulting in missing or clipped rims and partially visible design elements, a type of error that becomes even more desirable when paired with other anomalies. And some of these error coins also showed incomplete or weak strikes, particularly on the shield reverse where the lines and scrollwork appeared partially missing, flattened, or ghost-like, and further investigation revealed that the planchets used may have been improperly prepared or affected by debris or contamination, leading to weak metal flow and surface imperfections during striking. And in some cases, the copper plating on the zinc core appeared blistered, uneven, or cracked, revealing the underlying zinc in patches or giving the surface a bubbled or rippled appearance, and this plating issue is especially rare in recent coins due to tighter standards in planchet manufacturing, so its presence in these 2021D error coins further elevated their uniqueness and value. And another incredibly rare feature seen in some of these coins was die cracks and cuds, including major retained cuds along the rim of the coin that distorted the border and extended into the design, features that are visually striking and extremely desirable among collectors because they are visible to the naked eye and signify catastrophic die failure, and in even rarer cases, coins were discovered with remnants of die clash marks, where the dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost images of the reverse design imprinted into the obverse die and vice versa, resulting in coins where Lincoln's face is overlaid with subtle outlines of shield elements or lettering from the reverse, creating surreal and captivating visuals that collectors prize highly. And what pushed the value of one specific specimen into the stratosphere was not just the presence of these errors individually but their combined occurrence in a single coin that was preserved in exceptional mint state condition. A coin that was eventually submitted to a professional grading service and received an MS69 RD grade, an almost unheard of rating for an error coin. And once this coin was certified and listed for auction, the anticipation built rapidly among collectors and investors alike who recognized the uniqueness and significance of the piece, leading to a frenzied private bidding war where the final sale price reached an astounding $94 million. Purchased by a private buyer whose identity was kept confidential but was rumored to be a wealthy tech entrepreneur with a passion for rare American coins, and this sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, instantly transforming the 2021D Lincoln cent from a common modern coin into a modern legend. And since that sale, collectors have been obsessively searching through bank rolls, pocket change, and sealed mint bags for any 2021D cents that show even a hint of similar errors, with online communities sharing high-resolution images, error checklists, and die variety guides to help others identify potential hidden gems. And while several other error coins from the 2021D series have surfaced and sold for impressive amounts ranging from thousands to tens of thousands of dollars depending on the combination of errors and their condition, none have matched the complete set of anomalies or high grade of the record-setting coin, which remains the crown jewel of modern penny errors. And experts continue to debate how such a cascade of mistakes could occur in a modern minting environment with so many safeguards, with theories ranging from improperly replaced dies, operator error during maintenance, or a sudden malfunction in the striking machinery that went unnoticed for a brief period. And supporting this theory are mint records showing an unscheduled maintenance event in the Denver facility around the time these coins were likely produced. And while the mint has made no official comment on the specific errors, the numismatic community continues to study die markers, diagnostics, and surface characteristics in an attempt to trace the origin of these coins to specific die pairings and production runs. And what makes the 2021D Lincoln cent so fascinating beyond its record value is the fact that it's a coin from the digital era, a time when so much is automated and controlled, yet it reminds us that perfection is elusive and that even today, amid the precision of robotics and laser-engraved dies, human oversight and machine failure can result in something truly remarkable. And it speaks to the heart of coin collecting, the thrill of discovering the unexpected in the ordinary, the possibility that tucked away in a coin jar or roll of pennies could be a mistake worth millions, and it's why collectors remain vigilant, methodically inspecting every cent, checking for doubling in the date, abnormalities in the plating, cracks near the rim, off-center strikes, rotated reverses, die clashes, missing elements, and other markers that could signify a rare and valuable error, and with the story of the 2021 error cent now cemented in coin collecting history, it has sparked a renewed interest in searching modern coinage for potential treasures, reminding us all that the value of a coin isn't always in its face value or metal content but in its story, its uniqueness, and the rarity of its imperfections. And whether you're new to the hobby or a seasoned expert, the tale of the $94 million penny proves that numismatic miracles can still happen, and that the next one could be waiting in your change right now. So stay sharp, keep searching, and be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible story from the world of rare coins where even a penny can unlock a fortune.